I'll start. My intentions are to show up a little bit of the parameters working group, especially the dashboard, then check out how the narrative and design are going as well. And I'm a little bit hungry, so that's my distraction. I'll pass it to Megan.
Yeah, so intentions, yeah, see how it's going with the dashboard, how I don't know if Pedro has something to show from the bonding curve already, or just if there's something help out. And yeah, distractions, none right now. I'll pass to Lauren.
Yeah, my intentions are just to sync and observe, just be here with you all. My distraction is only that I'm going to try to make a tweet for the Forgiveth right now at the same time, just at the beginning of the call. But other than that, not distracted. I'll pass it to Zepti.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. Yeah, my intention is to see the latest updates on the dashboard. And my distraction is like I'm trying to create video memes, so it's really fun, and yeah, I'm distracted thinking. I'll pass it to Manu.
Thanks, FT. Intentions, I'm gonna go over the feedback that I got from this week and see what you guys think about it. There was some interesting feedback and no distraction. And I think that's it, right? I'll pass it back to you, Victor.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Sorry, my computer is crashing. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I would first pass to Mitch and Marco to check out how is the design narrative going, but since they're not here and I'm not sure how is it going, I think we can go start with you and with the user testing. I think it's nice to have these first feedbacks.
Yeah, for sure. Let me share my screen. Okay. I assume everyone's watching right now. If not, let me know. Cool. Okay, so for this week, I messaged 91 people on Discord and Telegram. Actually got muted on Telegram because someone, I guess someone reported me. 12 people agreed, 7 left actionable feedback. And an interesting general feedback was to use an example, right? To try to put in a context of what we're doing. So use cases. We're going to read each part: token freeze, token thaw, IBC, modifying the comments, like the intro, but in an example or two if I really understand what we are setting. Maybe 2 or 3 each to make sure people don't just use one example to set the parameters. Then once you have some examples, I would suggest some pros, cons for moving the opening price of token freeze, token thaw up or down. What does higher do or prevent? What does lower allow or enable? What does it hurt? I'm not grasping these deeper trade-offs in order to provide a good decision. And this is from Steve, which co-founded Lithium Finance, really cool project. If you guys want to check it out. But yeah, he's all users are equal, but some users' feedback is more equal than others. I've come to find. So I really like this feedback, and it got echoed again by another user on the second paragraph here, where it says like, what are examples of tokens that take different approaches to these? I think he was trying to convey the same approach. Like, okay, again, we're the first one doing this, right? But how do we put it into like an example or use case? Is what I got from the people, and of course the first one, good positive feedback. Always good to have that people are liking it. They found it very convenient to use, self-explanatory, even educational, helpful to someone who doesn't really know what ABC instruments are and could help to understand it. Someone else asked, was very excited, said that he had been looking for this all along, asked when it was going to be available. didn't really understand it until they played with the prototype, so that's good. For the specific feedback, on slide 17, I guess I'll go over here. Right here, they asked about, man, sometimes the comments don't appear. Anyway, they said that in the part where it says a percentage, where is it? Like over here, a percentage of the total funds raised from the hatch is sent to the common pool to kickstart the commons projects. Aloy Wishes said that to have like here on the percentage part to have some sort of like pop-up like the ones that appear over here saying which percentage is going to be that. I believe we already voted on that, so it'd be interesting to just show that in there and be transparent with that. And then also number 207, which I would show it over here, but it's not showing. I'll refresh. It said that, yeah, just a general comment about showing what the x-axis and the y-axis do. Here, the x-axis reflects the reserve balance in wrapped-xDAI. The y-axis reflects the price of the TEC token in wrapped-xDAI. Which configuration parameters influence the shape of, reflect the price of the tokens as a function of reserve balance size, and configuration parameters. See if it's there. It's still loading. So moving on the tau voting, there was 2 feedback as well. See if it's here. Okay, well, the prototype does not want to load. But yeah, there was some on the tau voting slide saying to show the duration of the voting day, again, for the x-axis, and some info bubbles on some things on there. There you go. Okay. So right here, people asked, I guess it's over here, this one. Add sentence like this chart shows the duration of the vote in days for several different scenarios. Color represent the phases of each kind of vote. And then over here on the voting timeline, someone commented Aloy Wishes commented to have, an explanation on not quite voting period, vote duration, delegated voting period, just like we see over here, vote duration, delegated, etc. And yeah, there was feedback also on the configuration summary. This is the last part. I don't know how much time I have, but I'll try to move over there. It's not letting me. Okay, there you go. Yeah, basically just people saying, okay, when you submit the proposal, where does this go, right? Right here, feedback saying, after this, it would be great to have a message that says, congrats, you have submitted your proposal, a lot of confetti maybe, now share with everyone, letting the person choose the right comms channel. And then
I've just been seeing the same screen. Like, I don't know if this is like you're showing multiple different screens because I just see this one general feedback thing,
Yeah,
and I'm like listening to what you're saying, but
I was like, should I say something?
Yeah, just a slide, right? Like it's
just the one slide we've been seeing.
Yeah.
You be just seeing one slide?
Yeah.
I thought I put entire screen. Okay, let me. What about now?
Oh yeah,
Can
now
you
I
see it now?
Oh, yes.
overall common strategy and Humberto's comment.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So I mean that's basically it. The last one would be the Griff left a lot of feedback on the Next slide. Man, it's just slow with the video sharing, but I mean, I guess we can move on. It's just the one the feedback I went through, and yeah, I'll relay that to Marco and also to Griff, see what they think. But yeah, that's it.
Whoa. Whoa. Everybody just raged.
He's
Yeah.
gone.
That was
was
like
that?
that was like a mic drop. My bad.
Boom. Thanks, man.
Yeah, sorry they couldn't see it. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I structured the feedback more this time. I reached out to a lot of people. The people I run out of people that I know, so it's just messaging people from the Common Stack channel. That's why the affected rate is so low. But I got a lot of people who are committed for next week's feedback. So we're doing good on that part. And that being said, I'll pass it back to you, Victor.
Sorry, my internet connection was a little bit bad, but I think it's awesome to have a lot of feedbacks, and especially I think there are a lot of like small informations that are essential to be there and are easy to add, such as the units and the charts, and being more explicit with things like that I think improve the user experience. And yeah, after this week, probably we'll have like all the modules working together and fine, so then we can totally focus on getting the best user experience possible, and it'll be super useful to have all of these feedback. So awesome job, then. Hope to see more of that. So it's awesome.
Hey,
and yeah,
can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was returning a rental car. I was wondering, like, Manu, it sounds like, are they using the prototype, or are they still just like in the editor view? Because like some things they're looking for examples and they're asking for pop-ups, but to my knowledge, it feels like they already are there, like the tooltips and the links to the forum posts and all that.
It was my bad. The other time that I said they were using they had always been using the prototype. I've always been sharing the prototype. It's just I'd say that it's maybe some Figma things going on. Just like right now that I couldn't see all the comments, so I looked at those comments as well, saying that the pop-ups are not there, and yeah, I don't know. They're just it's just funny stuff going on in Figma. But I've been sharing the prototype. It's always been the prototype, and yeah. Did you get a chance to arrive while I was presenting, Mitch?
I think I caught most of it. It was really cool to see the post from the guy from Lithium Finance.
Yeah. Definitely good feedback on that side, and I checked out his project, and it's awesome. So yeah, really experienced guy giving us feedback, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there's also many thanks for the work. I think it's really valuable. And yeah, like I'd like to pass probably now for like the design and narrative part, which you can say like there's no distractions as well, but like check out how things are going that side. If there's something left that was talked about in the feedback as well.
I'd have to look at it on Figma to get a better idea. But I think like what Manu said, we're just hitting a limitation with what Figma can do versus how intuitive the website will be.
Sure. Makes sense. And yeah, and just another thing, I think regarding the output of the issues as well. Like, do you have any updates on that? Like how it's going?
Of which issues?
Oh, the final issues, the template that we're going to use for voting. That you had an initial one in HackMD. Did you change anything there? Like there's any update on that side?
No, I don't think I updated anything after we did QA on it.
Okay, awesome. No. Okay, there's anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good. I'll keep listening.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so like passing more to the general planning of our dashboard. Like ideally, last week we would be working in the previous week we would be working the ABC, and this week we're working in the issue generator. But since like the ABC is pretty big, we're doing the splitting work here. So I think Megan's working more in the ABC and refreshing there, and I'm working more in the setting up the params block and getting sure that the issue is out. So we'll be able to, after select and define all the parameters, we can just generate the awesome issue, and then we can use it to vote. So I'm mostly focusing on that. And unfortunately, Pedro's will not be able to come today to show off how the front end is going, but send me a deploy link that I can just show off. But it's not finished yet, but he'll be finishing this until the community call. So I'll just share my screen to show off, and then I think Megan can talk a little bit about the backend integration because I haven't been part of it too much. So I'll just show off my screen real quick. So yeah, like it's still a work in progress, and this is. Can you see my screen? Can you see? Okay, so this is still static right now, but like all the components are here, like the opening price, common tribute, the entry tribute, the exit tribute, and then you can select like your scenarios right now, like bullish and bearish. Right now it's like hard coded, but then you'll be able to also like define the reserve balance, etc., and then the add steps. And but this is not functional right now, but like the structure is here, and like you just need to put the head down a little bit to finish it, but it's pretty sounds pretty good. And yeah, I hope up to the community call have this at least functional integrated to be able to show people. And yeah, and regarding the backend, like how it's going, like I haven't talked to you guys about this too much. Like regarding the integration, is it fine? Like, did you guys find a solution to integrate it?
Do you mean on my part right now?
Both like the front end and back end, because I think you guys were talking about like how to integrate the front end with the back end and the ABC.
Yeah. We agreed on how to do it. Yes, I kind of pushed the last changes on Sunday, so because there were some issues with the JSON of the bonding curve drawing, and I kind of changed it and pushed the changes, and now it should be in a format that Pedro can work with. I haven't heard back from him. I was hoping maybe to see him today, but I can just write to him if everything's fine. I guess if he didn't say anything, it was because it was more or less working. So yeah. The only thing that I could bring up, maybe I want to talk to Pedro, but maybe you can also give your input there. That would be great. Is this initial buy stuff, which Griff mentions in the params channel, that we want to put this advanced parameter that the TEC makes the initial buy, and if we should solve it on the front end or in the back end. I think both is possible. Just front end would be that just Pedro sends me a step list with some extra step at the beginning, and back end would be add a new parameter, which we then in the back end just compute the step first instead of waiting. I think both are fine. I don't know if maybe you have something. Okay, clearly better to do it this way or that way.
No, what I think we can do is that I think we could add like different endpoints, but it doesn't make much sense. I think we could keep like one endpoint for each one of them.
In that case.
Yeah, and then we already have like default values, right? So like if you don't send one specific value, you just like, you use the default. So what we can do is like we use the same endpoint, but then if you're doing this in the proper module, we're just not sending like the initial buy, right? That's not it's just in the final page, and then we use the default. And then if we're using the set page, then probably we have to like rerun the endpoint to just get sure that everything is correct, and then we just add that point. I think is smarter.
Okay. So I'll just put it on the back end, then that's maybe easier then. Okay, great. It was a small question.
But it's good to iterate on that. Awesome. And then after that, we have the param swap, which is the last thing that we have to do to make sure that everything is wired up, and then we can generate for issues. So I'll show my screen again. stop to share, but I created this account called TC Params Bot. Can you see my screen? Okay, awesome. I created this TC Params Bot, just an account just for creating issues. So basically we'll have a template. So this is one of the templates, for example. And then when we just click the button in the final dashboard, it will just generate the issue automatically. And the good part of it is that it doesn't have a hard limitation of size as we had in the Hatch dashboard. So it's pretty, you can go pretty crazy here. So there's no limitation on that side. And like right now, the endpoint is updating. I'm just changing the title actually. So what will happen is that you have this template, and then the front end, you get all the inputs and outputs when you click into generate, and then you populate these with like different values here. But my main blocker here right now is to have these a newer version of this template, because this, I think it's pretty stale, like this is old, etc. So I think, I'm not sure if you're the guy to do that, Mitch, or I can try to do as well. But I think once you have the initial version that's more updated with what we have right now, like prints of the real front end, etc., then I can just update the inputs here, and then we can have a first functional version, because otherwise it will be too much overhead to populate all of these, and these will not be used, for example. So nice to have it like once it's more updated, we can just try to use it, and then probably up to Thursday we'll have the ABC working, so then we can start playing with everything all together. So I think it will be pretty nice.
All right, and for the images, are you going to put in like a API for that, or?
Yeah, I think so. Like for the template, you can just like add a print script just for like understanding what we're gonna have. But yeah, we haven't figured out how to do that yet. But probably it's gonna be like export as an HTML, and then like export the component as an HTML and use that API to generate the link, because you not only need to convert this from like an HTML to an image, but you also have to host it, and then just add a link to the issue. So I think that's the best way to do it. But like just having a print of what the chart that we want here is enough, I think, just for creating, because then you can just update that.
Okay. And then in terms of like updating the tables and whatnot, I'll throw it into the HackMD, or do you want it somewhere else?
So, sorry, what do you mean? Like
the issue template came from a HackMD document. Do you want me to update that with
yeah, it'll be awesome.
tables?
Yeah. Like I think not only the tables, but just get sure that like there is no information here that will not be used, and like update the charts, because then it's easier to do, because there are a lot of like inputs to populate, and if there are a lot of like ones that we're gonna like discard later, there will be a lot of work. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I think having that, we can just like have our first like MVP of people actually creating issues. And the good part is that I created these repositories, like that's issues config dashboard, so we can just like play with it as we want, and then we can just like discard it and create a new one that's going to be actually used for voting. Yeah, that's it. And just to clarify, like after that, we just like use like token log or snapshot to vote, right? So this is like the one step before the actual voting. So it's pretty exciting. And yeah, there's any comment, suggestion on that side?
I think it looks awesome, and it's exactly what we wanted, and we weren't sure if it was really possible to be made. So that's amazing. I think Mitch said the other stuff, but I think it's great.
Anyone else? Any comment?
Yeah, I think I mean, just looking overall, it seems like it's, it's a lot of information, and I feel like we really need to educate the people to understand it. And yeah, I think it's going to be fun. This is the main goal of the, create our own economies and teach everyone to do for their own future commons or whatever. And yeah, I think yeah, it's awesome being able to participate in and understand this.
No, yeah, I agree, and I think that's a point that we can do later. I think like that that can be used with the user testing as well, because like once we have a more updated version of it, because like it probably seems that there is too much information, right? Like the hatch one was okay, it was like less information, but I think the issue itself was smaller, and probably I think we can do a few user testings like in the issue itself to check out like if it's clear, if there's not like a lot of duplicated information, etc. I think it's a good use for user testing as well. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. I'm not sure if anyone has any other topics in mind and anything else on that part.
Not on this part, but if we can go back to one thing on the ABC.
The next station.
How did you rig up that reserve balance indicator?
Ooh, sorry, you mean the value here?
I mean, do like the buttons work as well?
Yeah, they work.
Cool. And then the launch one, did that make sense to you?
This is sorry, I've not been working on the ABC, but like where does these value come from?
So launch is basically the hatch funds minus the commons tribute.
Okay, so the commons tribute is here, and the hatch funds are where are they?
Well, it's 1.57
Yeah, the hedge funds
million.
are hard-coded.
Okay, but
if like I don't know how much is implemented here. That's also what I didn't want to say anything, but the different reserve balance in this case wouldn't change the shape of the curve, because it's just to tell where to draw the first point. So since we don't have the list of steps and the table below and the draw steps, the curve, the reserve balance right now, I think it's not changing anything.
Yeah, and I think like you said that even the chart is static, so it doesn't actually change. So I think it was just adding this just to like just send me this to show you guys like how to do this placement of things. But yeah, like I think he's busy with other projects, but I think he'll up to the next community call will be integrated and running. So yeah, good point. Yeah, now I'm saying that it changes here, but then I'm thinking probably we should show it somewhere, because like the total balance, right? Like the TC balance, because this information isn't anywhere, like at least here.
Yeah, maybe if we could just make if the user clicks on launch, just show a small line of red text below which tells you exactly what number it is, or something like that. Maybe.
Even like above the reserve balance, something, or like even between parentheses, like total balance is that much. I'm not sure. What do you think, Mitch?
You mean to show the reserve balance on there?
No, the total balance, like total TC balance. Because like since we're doing math here, like this is the derivative from the total balance, right? It's just like the total balance minus this. So like
no. If the reserve balance is just like 100,000, it just assumes that for the scenario it's that, because the tribute gets subtracted at the beginning and at the creation. So if you say launch, you just take the hedge funding and subtract the tribute, and that is the launch balance, which is kind of what it's going to be. But if you choose another number, you just assuming that something happened which put the balance at that point in other steps.
Yeah, like here you're hard setting it, right?
Yes, exactly.
But then, like my point is, like at launch you're doing this. You're getting like you're simulating the reserve balance using the amount raised, but the hatch adjusted by the commons tribute, right? So in this case, you just So but here, like if you check it out, like in the pop-up, it's saying about the reserve balance and the contribute, but then the contribute is here. But then the reserve balance, the amount raised by the hatch is not here. That's my own point. Maybe like you could just like add. It can be like hard coded because like even doesn't need to be even input. Just like somewhere, just adding like the amount raised by the hatch is that much. Maybe because I know that people probably know about it, but I think probably like this dashboard should be like self-explanatory. So I'm not sure if it makes sense. Like just adding it somewhere, like just here in
Yes.
small text saying like, oh, the amount raised by the hatch was like that much.
Yeah,
We could just add that to the tooltip.
Yeah. I think it makes sense. Like, you could say like, oh, the total amount raised by the hatch, and then like between parentheses, say like 1.5 amp or something like that, just to keep the information there. I think it's a good point.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
And another thing I noticed on the wireframe, we show the reserve ratio.
You mean it's not here? The reserve ratio input?
The reserve ratio is an output, but we don't show it anywhere.
Not even in the table? I don't remember.
It used to be a little like watermark on the graph itself, but I don't know if it disappeared somewhere.
Yeah, I just saw that. No, we're not showing it right now. I can also just output it. It's just one parameter that gets calculated at the beginning, so it's not difficult. I would like, what does it add as useful information for the user to know the reserve ratio? Is it like, honestly asking, what do you think, Mitch?
I mean, it's really just for power users so they can know and they can get instant feedback when they change the parameters.
Okay,
The same way that we show the chart. Go ahead. Yep.
No, sorry.
Yeah, maybe like the reserve ratio is indeed.
No, all good. I'm on a train right now, so.
No, because like, yeah, no, I'm not sure like how you can add information here, but yeah, we can think about it.
Yeah, no, I just saw, for example, in your proposal bot, the image of the bonding curve there has a reserve ratio on the just like little pop up on the side, and yeah, right there.
Oh,
So
nice.
so that is not part of the dashboard right now. We could add that. It's just outputting one more number. It's not a problem. The thing is, I didn't think about it because you use the reserve ratio for the calculations when you buy and you sell, but that's it. And but yeah, for the advanced users, yeah, why not?
Yeah, but another just I think like Pedro did not even add the background, so I think he'll be up to like adding these as well. Just not sure if you're outputting these in the
No, right now I'm not. Right now I'm not. But again, it's this variable. It's saved. It's just I just have to return it together with the rest of the stuff.
Yeah,
that should not be no problem.
Yeah. So do you guys think we should keep this? Like, is it in Figma right now?
I don't know. Let me check.
It should be in the Figma. Like that's a screen cap from Figma.
I think if it is, then we're good to go, because I think Pedro is using directly the Figma for reference. But like,
I even wrote up a nice little tooltip for it.
Can you see that? Because mine is a little bit slow here.
It's loading.
Probably many people trying to access it at the same time.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
for,
when
so
users-
for me, the Figma says reserve ratio, actually. And there's a cool tooltip on it too. Okay, so I'll just add it.
Yeah, you can be sure that Pedro will just keep like follow the design. So yeah, awesome that we'll add this to the backend. So I think we'll be good to go then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Like after we just finish the ABC, make it working, then update the bot template for the HackMD, and then make them talk to each other, and then of course we have the sets page for the advanced settings, and then after that we're good to go. Then we can watch it. Yeah, and I'm not sure if you guys have anything else to add, like, or if we are going to end up a little bit earlier. Any other feedback?
Just to clarify, what I can do for you, like action items, is just update the GitHub template.
Sorry, I did not hear.
Just asking what can I do for you guys to support besides updating the GitHub template?
Like, I think the Figma is pretty set up. I think the bottleneck has been like Pedro having enough time and mind space to implement this in the backend as well. But I think other than that, I'd say probably checking out the other versions, or maybe with the user testing as well. Like maybe trying to see if there's anything specific to implement. Not sure.
Okay, but at this point, should we be making GitHub issues instead of updating Figma?
Not sure. Like, I think I think it's nice to pass these things through Marco before changing it, because like probably like he has a different way or thought about different ways to do the same thing. So I talked to Marco as well.
Okay.
Awesome then. And there is any other point? So otherwise we can also finish up a bit earlier.
Nothing on my part.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome then. So guys, it was a little bit smaller today, shorter, but there were not that much things to show off. But I can assure you next week will be awesome. Have a lot of more things ready and set up to launch. So I think that's it.